So greetings, how are you doing? This is Ujjval from the Geo-negative axis institution. I'm not the Geo-negative axis, but I am the institution. I am the founder. But today we're going to read from scriptures, because without scriptures, you don't have the full story. Even if you scientifically tell everything, how I've done, explaining matter, explaining light, and their correlations with existence and you. But you are the soul, the spirit matter particle, and you must tend to the Lord. So here we are, tending to Bhagavad Gita, the well-renowned scripture that has given so much information, actually everything in science is from here. We're going to do Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya 3 times, and then we're going to see what Krishna wants us to hear about today. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Well, it's right here. It's on. After being situated, text 813, after being situated in this yoga practice and vibrating sacred syllable Om, the supreme combination of letters. If one thinks of the Supreme Personality of God and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. For one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain. O son of Pritha, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. So Krishna is lining it out for us. God is lining it out. We don't have, let's say, so many options in this world, right? We're limited by our body. But if we do service to God, we can get raised to an unlimited platform. Everybody wants this unlimited platform now. Now they're making even a metaverse thing, where they want to become an unlimited platform, or they want to be 10 feet tall, they want to be a monster, whatever sense of that. So people are ultimately already seeking this. So Krishna is saying, I'm going to guarantee you this. I'm going to give it if you become my devotee. And he says, if you quit your body. So how is this possible? You have to remember, what you're spending your time in with, you might end up with. Make perfect sense? So even at the time of death, you will be remembering what? You have to try to remember God. Always. Especially at your elder age, right? This is why the gurus have told, after 50, 60 years old, retire from, whatever you're doing and worship God. Give up all designations of God, because very simply, the truth is this, that if you are fixated on this world at the time of death, if you're thinking about something other than the Lord, you may obtain those things with your karma to their ability and accessibility. So that can be really bad. If you're doing terrible things and then you think about, I don't know, how much you love bananas, God might use that as your punishment, and you might become a banana tree for many years. See what I mean? So you'll be very careful when you're using mantras and what you're doing with them. He gave us the process in those 2 verses, actually. In those 2 verses, he lined it out for us. He said, situated in yoga practice, vibrating the syllable Om, the combination of letters. If one thinks the Supreme Personality of God and quits his body, he will certainly reach the spiritual planets. Om. Om. He's not making that hard. He even says also, if you say my name, Krishna, but even just the Om, you will reach the spiritual planets. That's where you come from. And it's true. They even vibrate on Om. They found out the sun vibrates on Om. So we can't say, no, that's not, that cannot be true. They already done the scientific study. The actual sun vibrates on Om. So we have to give it up for that. Okay. So maybe I'll do a little Bible here. Sometimes the Bible gives us some good revelations. Om Bible Namaha. Om Yeshua Namaha. Om Yeshua Namaha. Om Yeshua Namaha. So here we go. John 8:37. I know that you are Abraham's descendant, but you seek to kill me because my words has no place in you. I speak what I have seen with my father, as you do what you have seen with your father. If you were Abraham's child, 39, I'm only reading the highlighted parts. If you were Abraham's child, you would do the works of Abraham. But now you seek to kill me, a man who has told you that the truth which I heard from God Abraham, did not do this. You do the deeds of your father. Then he said to him, we are not born of fornication. We have one Father, God. Jesus said to them, if God were your father, you would love me. For I have proceeded forth and came from God. Nor have I come of myself, but he sent me. Why do you not understand my speech? Because you are not able to listen to my word. You are of your father, the devil, and the desires of your father you want to do. He was murdered from the beginning and does not stand in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaks a lie, he speaks from his own resources, for he is a liar and the father of it. But because I tell the truth, you do not believe me. Which of you convicts me of sin? Which of you convicts me of sin? And if I tell the truth, why do you not believe me? He who is God hears God's words. Therefore, he who is of God hears God's words. Therefore, you do not hear, because you are not of God. Jesus is making this beautiful, beautiful understanding, very logical to them. He's using top logic on them, but they can't. Maybe they could. He's explaining to them. You know what? I said this to people recently today, actually. I told some of these stalkers. I said, you're looking at Brahmin, or you say, these are not a club. It's not a Brahmin club. These are positions in society. Kshatriya, you're a king. You do kingly things. Also, Asura, you're not an Asura because somebody called you an Asura. It's your nature, what you're doing, what your activities are engaged in makes you that. Are you a servant of God? Are you worshiping God all day? Or are you worshiping sin all day and then doing evil? That would clarify you as an Asura. Just enjoying and doing things, is not exactly an Asura. But having an evil tendency and not realizing your mistake, if you made any, if you indulged too much or anything like that, that's an Asura. See what I mean? That's an Asuric nature. And then moreover, as he's saying, your works add up to the devil. Why are you claiming that you are the Father? That everyone's the son of God? That's not. It's true. This is right on the Aryan, the Vedic philosophy, because they have a guru. So the real gurus, they say, no longer can you accept your father as father. You must accept me as you're twice born now. That's the real guruship. You're twice born. Now I'm your father. You have accepted me as your guru. I've been teaching you. Now you must accept me as your father and mother. And my guru said is you should accept guru as your father, mother, everything. Your everything, like your husband, your wife. Even if you're not married, also that your duty as even that. Not that you have an intimate relationship with him or her, but as the duty is there, you should have that duty to them. Like, oh, I'm your beloved. Do what is it I can do for you? So this is the same idea Jesus is explaining. He's explaining that to them, that if you want to be the father, you want to be of Abraham, first of all, you have to be like Abraham. If you want to be a Surya, like Surya Dev, Surya, you have to be devotional, servanthood. That's where the word servant comes from, Surya, Surat. You have to be servant. If you're not servant, if you're trying to grab the energy, if you're trying to pull it and beat it into your hold, then you're an asura. You're not serving for the energy. That's it. You can't say that, oh, I'm beating these children because I'm helping them to understand the sura nature, the service nature. No, that's not how it works. Not how it works. You must serve the children. Then ultimately they will learn how to serve and be honored. And when they do things wrong, then you show discipline with knowledge to teach them and help them grow. That's it. That's the only thing. There's no such thing as you wake up every day, I need to go hurt somebody because I don't like them and they did something wrong with me. There's people doing that today in this world. There's very sick demons. They are the devils. They are the devils. The person stalking, using subcutaneous weapons on me and others. This is the devils they're talking about. If you want to distinguish the devils and the gods, this is it. Okay? Don't have any doubt in Jesus or in the Bhagavad Gita. These are your scriptures. Jesus is not lying to you, nor is Krishna. And we'll go to Code of Earth Creational System, Geonegative Axis. We love Samanic. It's on Barnes and Nobles. Okay. Om Krishnaya Namah Swaha Om Shivaya Namah. So I'm gonna do Om Ujjvalaya Namah. Om Ujjvalaya Namah. Om Ujjvalaya Namah. Normally, the ears are higher, giving them ability to receptors in the perception of sound vibrations. They respond to create sound effects. They also become affected if you lay back. Sounds come in differently when the whole function operates different. So that goes to show us the positioning involved in the basing of the function and the actions therein. This happened to me today. Okay, the ears above the mouth, and this is my book, which is at page 129, page 130. And it says, the negativity of a subject matter is inescapable. Whether it is from a position or absence or of space or complete negation of space through motion, we can expect its capacity and function in all matter. How then to determine when producing things is reliant on how well you identify the necessary function and actions and that piece of subject matter related to its most thriving and ensuring premium aspects of being. GNA, it's only about making things that are expert and self-efficient from technology to medicine, but it's about perfecting what we have right now viable in our circumference and hands that can be made most excellent. As we understand with the mouth is a single negative, with the tongue that's a positive. The tongue insinuates of a person, thus if they are invested much in the positive or getting their results, it can be determined how much their tongue takes up their mouth. As in, the more it does, the more they are over-consumed. People can have small mouths and have huge tongues, for that matter. So, it goes on to explain the physics, as I explained, the ripple effect in the creation. How we have, so the ears, right, are above the mouth. The ears are above the mouth, usually, right? They're over here. So the mouth's not here, so the ear is above the mouth. And the eyes. Okay, and the mouth, okay, so it says the ears are dependent on the root cause of sound, which is the mouth. So basically what it's saying is that these senses are your acquiring knowledge senses. That's why they're higher than the nose, which is the senses for enjoyment, and the mouth, okay? That's what it's explaining. So the position even the negativity. So this, and this, eating, tasting, smelling, enjoying, feeling, the body, feeling, right? Everything is below the need. This is the GNA is explaining the ripple effect of creation. The eyes and the ear are requiring knowledge, information, understanding the creation. This is using for enjoyment. So you're supposed to not use it for enjoyment, but to use it to supply your acquiring knowledge senses. You understand? So instead of enjoying, feed it to use your knowledge acquiring senses, and they'll become clear. This is the negative effect too. When you negate yourself, your desire to enjoy too much, you negate it very easily. You start to understand what is service, right? And it comes to you. If you start acting on that negation, you understand that serving others has a great effect on yourself because you're like allowing a negative, let's say, connection with others, right? A negation of yourself, you're allowing a connection to serve others, and then you have not a space that you are occupying. So if you occupy your heart and say, I want to enjoy, and you don't negate it, and you don't leave a space, and you don't leave for others to put things in it. Like I was telling others, don't do anything to children bad. If you just help them nicely, negate yourself, open your heart, give them some help, give them some knowledge, give them some treat. Don't spoil them, don't make them too overweight or whatever. Then, very easily, this child will give you bliss. You don't need to do anything. They'll give you your joy of your feeling. They'll give you the right temperament too. Not that you become in cahoot with them and doing bad things that people have been doing. Terrible. Don't do that. Because you have a better effect just negating yourself and letting them pour energy and love into you by interactions. So that's what this is explaining. Producing things and reliant, how well you identify the necessary function and actions in that piece of subject matter related to its most thriving and assurance premium aspect of being. GNA isn't only about making things that are expert and self-efficient from technology to medicine, but it's about perfecting what we have right now viable in our circumference and hands that can be made most excellent. As we understand with the mouth as a single negative, with a tongue that's a positive. So the mouth has a negative space, but has a positive. And those explaining, those who are more voracious, sometimes you see they have more. They have what is it? They want to eat more. I mean, they want to extrapolate more. They don't have so much servitor attitude. They have really long tongues. Like my tongue is not long. But I know people that can take their tongue down to here. I can't. But my negative acham, negative mouth, mukam, is pretty big. Shows that I have a negation to speak, to give great, talks or whatever it is I can. Right? That's what I want to do. Not just I have a great mouth to kiss some lady or taste some food. Right? No. So eventually, not only that, the mouth becomes also the oration. Not only that, the smelling becomes only the smelling of the great scents that are offered to the Lord. The prasad, right? That's what you want, to make everything, all your senses, not just that your mouth and you can only use your ears, you can only use your eyes. No, you want to make all your senses purified. That's the trick of this, okay? That's the trick of philosophy, of Krishna and all the knowledge. And we can read one verse in the Bhagavatam. How about this? Yogis may undergo severe austerities, penance for many births by practicing yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, among none of them which are very easy to perform. Yet in due course of time, with these yogis attain perfection of controlling the mind, they will still be unable to taste even a particle dust from the lotus supreme personality Godhead. What then can be described the great fortune of the inhabitants of Brajbhumi Vrindavan, for whom the personality Godhead personally lived, and who saw the Lord face to face? This is exactly what we're talking about. We have a GNA miracle today. We're not void of a GNA miracle today. We have one. It's here. It happened. Okay? This is it. This is explaining exactly what I said. This right here, I just opened it. Look. Okay? 10, 12, 12. Chapter 10, Canto 12, Chapter 12, Text 12, and the Srimad Bhagavatam. It says, these yoga practices, if you do them for positive gain, I want to be the great asana. I want to be the great pranayama. Control my breathings. I want to be the great Yogi Mahajan. Okay, these are positive things though. But still, those who have negated themselves, those who have worshipped and did devotional service to please the Lord, who have given back to the source, who have said, you know what? I'm in a material body. I'm in a prison. My soul is in here. This is not me. This body is changing all the time. It changed throughout all the years. If you can say that fervently and say, I'm the soul in here, then you can understand what this is. Then really make some strides towards this, towards understanding that you cannot get a particle of dust of the Lord. That with these inhabitants of Vraj, of Vrindavan, these devotees of Krishna, that are waited for lives to be there, spent lives of service to get it right. We're yogis, we're this, we're that, lives to be there with Krishna. Because why? They made themselves a negation, a negative, and not built on a positive, that I need to do something to get something. I need to do yoga to get fit. I need to do yoga to get power. I need to do our mantras to get some power. I need to do that to get power. I need to get that to get lust, to get energy, get lust, You're not getting anywhere with it. You're wasting your time. You're swimming in the energy. You see what I mean? right? The smart person is not the person that looks at everybody swimming very fastly. They wonder, how are they swimming fastly? How are these people swimming so fastly? Oh, they use this energy. They use this food. Oh, okay, I'm going to invest in that energy, in that food. That's where the energy and stuff is at. Not in the use thereof. But where does it come? I want to serve that. Not serve myself using the energy. Because many people want to do that. They want to use the energy and say, I'm the guru now. I'm the big guy now. Listen to me now before you don't get da-da-da. Okay? So that's it. Leave you with that. We have a GNA miracle. We're doing good. It's my birthday, January 11th. I'm 43 years old, this body. And this is my gift to you. Okay? That you bless me. If you learn something, you take something from this, you understand something from this, put it in your heart. Go Premanande, Hare Krishna. Glorious to Jesus. Glorious to Guru Dev. Glorious to Radha Krishna and Sri Shiva Dev, Durga Devi, Ganesha. Jai.